My last video where I introduced Lorraine and I said I would talk about the equipment we have. I debated whether I wanted to do that or not, but people have asked me, and I know before I started the loop I was really interested in how to do that. So I'm going to give you a pretty good overview tonight. Juanita's here to help me. Lorraine is busy, and if you watch any of my other videos you'll notice that I generally mess things up, and Lorraine will probably tell me like what I did wrong. So I'm going to ask Juanita to do that, just to keep an eye on me and help me out here. So I've always had an interest in still photography, going back, God, probably 40 years, back to the film days. And I had a little bit of a studio set up, and if you wanted to try out a new lens or try out different lighting, you needed a model. Well, models aren't available. You ask, somebody in your house, and trust me, they're busy. They don't want to sit there looking stupid for 4 or 5 minutes, 10 minutes while you fool around. So I hired Juanita. She's great. I get a pretty good read on her flesh tones, her hair. She never complains. She's always there to help me, and I appreciate that. So thank you, Juanita. And if there's anything you need to say, you just pipe right up. I have some notes, and I'm going to go through this quickly, but I didn't want to miss anything important. What I'm videoing on right now is a Canon EOS 90D. Has a Boya mic with a dead cat on it. I don't know if you know what a dead cat is, but it helps with the sound and wind. It is a single lens reflex. It will do 4K video, and right now I have a 50mm 1.8 lens on it. That's pretty much what I try to use for inside. It seems to do pretty good. I do have another camera that I use mostly for stills, and that's a Nikon D40, another single lens reflex. And I have a 50mm lens for that. I have a Tamron 7300, which is a pretty good zoom lens, and I have a Nikon 1855. That's a close-up portrait lens. On the Canon, by the way, I have an ES55 250 stabilized zoom, and I also have a 3580, which is probably a really nice portrait lens. So that's my two main cameras. I also have two GoPros, GoPro Black 5 and a GoPro Black 10, and everybody knows GoPros are amazing, but they're limited. So I use those for when we're on the boat and we're trying to shoot the shoreline or something, and those kind of action stuff. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about editing. You almost can't do a decent video unless you know how to edit it. That's a long journey. I've been editing for a little bit off and on for 30 years, I think. I've always used Pinnacle Studio because it was a fairly good, easy to use. But recently, my computer, my Windows computer, is almost full. I don't have the capacity anymore. So I decided to switch to DaVinci Resolve 18, which is probably the gold standard in editing software. And I decided, since I'm going to do that, I'm going to switch to an Apple Mac Pro computer. So it's a little bit of a double whammy. I'm trying to learn Apple operating system and a new editing system at the same time. So I'm going to try to edit this video with the DaVinci. I've just started using it. I haven't done any real videos. It's very complicated, but very capable. Actually, you know, Hollywood editors do use DaVinci, like higher level. So, all right, so far she agrees pretty much with all that. The other thing I would say is music. You could get a ton of free music anywhere from YouTube or off the internet. To me, most of it sounds canned because it is canned. It's generated by drum machines and computers and blah blah blah. I want actual music, so I'm willing to pay for it. And it's not that expensive, depending on what you want to use it for. You can get a one-time license to use, generally what I buy for $10-20 up to $100, and you don't have to worry about copyright infringements. YouTube's pretty tough when it comes to copyright. I've made videos and the radio was on, and they'll flag it because it's somebody singing or something, and they know it's copyrighted. And there's things you can do to get around that. But anyway, so if you want to start making videos, and somebody says, well, what do I need to do it? I would say, well, none of the above, nothing that I just mentioned do you need. All you really need is some sort of a camera that'll shoot video. Might be your cell phone or an GoPro, iPad, whatever. You do need a computer and I think some basic editing software. I think you should start. There's a free version called CapCut, which is excellent for Windows or Apple. And you walk before you run, and you just import some of your film and you put it on the timeline, and you learn how to cut it and transitions and add music and titles. You can make a really nice video. I've seen people on YouTube, not necessarily looping, but that all they have is a cell phone. So you don't want to fall into the thing, and it's easy to do, and I've avoided it a little bit. Most of my equipment is several years old. Most of it I had. You think, gee, I want to make better videos. What I need is better equipment. It really doesn't work that way. You're only as good as what your eye sees and the story you're trying to tell. And I don't care if it's an old Kodak camera, a cell phone, an old GoPro. My first GoPro I think I bought used for, I think it was $150, and that's the 5, and it still works fine. So you have to have a desire to do it, though, because there is a learning curve. But as far as you can make a video, a short video, a test video in a half an hour. You learn how to export it, what format you want, put it on YouTube or whatever, and you're good to go. That's where you start. So again, don't get discouraged. I can't think of a better way to document a trip like the Great Loop, and you've all seen many good Great Loop videos, and mine are okay, but they're not great, and I'm committed to improving just because if I'm going to do it, I want to do the best I can. So hopefully I can edit this in DaVinci, or Da Vinci, I guess Da Vinci. You're supposed to correct me, Lorraine would have. Da Vinci, right? Yeah. And post it. And if I'm still not up to speed with that video editor, you won't know it because I'll never tell you. But it's been a lot of fun, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I guess that's one of the reasons we like when somebody questions or comments or likes the video or subscribes to the channel. We don't get a lot of feedback. You could spend 5-6 hours making a video, and you know, somebody in your family say, that's a nice video. But the way you learn, I think, is to keep doing it and watch other people and listen to comments. I've had some great comments. I've had some, you know, whatever. But I like them all. If you don't like my video and you want to tell me, that's one option. The other option is just don't tell me and don't watch it. But anyway, I committed to doing this. We're home for another month or two. And then we're back to what we're going to call Volume 2. I still have some videos that I still have to make to get to where we are, to where we leave. Hopefully in early to mid-February. So thanks for watching. A lot of you guys know me. I can answer any questions if you find a way to ask me or post a comment. So thanks for watching. Thanks for monitoring this for me. And probably next time Lorraine will be back to sort of keep me straight.